So I'm beginning to develop the front profile flange. The first thing I had to do is get the flange that runs 90 degrees to the center line of the car. And you see I had to wrap it in this direction. That matches the Challenger profile on the existing inner door. And from this angle you could see that it completes the profile similar to the one in the back as far as matching the quarter panel radiuses and so forth. Right here I have it bent around the back and it's sitting in the recess that normally would accept the door skin on the original inner door, and it's right now just clecoed in there, and I'm getting ready to put this pattern up here to give me a flange going in this direction. Usually if you take a look at a car, I noticed this a long time ago when I was I built a simulator one time, and I was wondering how the heck what I was going to determine to make sure that I cut this profile correctly in order for the door to open and not bind and hit the fender and so forth. I got to looking at cars in general, and this profile generally matches. If you take it and turn it sideways, it matches the profile of the door in this direction. So if you could take a look, you see how this rolls here and then flattens out. This is the Challenger door. Let's go on the other side, take a look at that real quick. As you can see, this profile, it comes down flatter here, and then it takes a gentle curve and then under. And if you take a look at it in this direction, it's pretty much the same shape. It takes a curve, which matches the curve here, and then it has a gentle profile, which sharpens up at the very bottom. So that's how you determine what this line should be in this direction. It's actually the profile coming towards you, or if you take a look down the side of the car, it's that same profile right in that direction right here. So on to the next pattern, and see how it works out over here, trying to match it up to the quarter panel and the rear door stuff that I've already done. Alright, this is what I call within tweaking range. As you could see, if I could move that drill, you could see the upper profile, and following that template there that I made, that it projects to the same shape pretty good, within about 1/8 of an inch here and there, which I can pull in or out. Once it's all welded together, it's easier to maneuver. These separate pieces, they want to wander a little bit, but I've got it. It's bent around here. I can pull this away now, and you can see that it follows the profile in this direction now, as it's bent around the corner here. So it'll be attached to this flange. This flange is attached to this flange, and this will get rosetted to this once it's primed and everything. And this will be the leading edge of, well, it goes right past here, right here, and here will be the leading edge of the door skin. So that kind of establishes the end to end. I have to do a little adjustment, put a piece here on the bottom of the door because it came out just a little bit wider, as you can see over here with this rocker. So in order to match the rocker, I'll have to come out with a little flange to capture the skin on the bottom side. This is, as I like to say, this is the easy part. Now this is a huge piece of steel that I have to maneuver by myself. I pre-rolled this with a slip roller, and because of the thickness of the metal, it really doesn't want to bend that easy. But here's the, I have 2 of these pieces of metal. I'll lean that up against there so it doesn't fall over. They've got a curve rolled in them already. We've got a big slip roller at work, something I don't have here, and that helps to make a uniform curve. I can flatten it out from here. It's a little bit overbent, but I'll have to get the body line in the exact right position, and that's going to take a little bit of work, but mostly. It's a very, very cumbersome piece to handle. What I'll do is I'll try to make a pattern close to the shape, size, and the shape I'm going to end up with, so I can trim a lot of the metal away. So I got to reduce some of the weight and make it a little bit easier, hopefully, to handle. Trying to get that skin to lay on there. I've also got to come up with a dimpling method for putting a depression in this skin on this side. This is not crashed, obviously. I'm going to try and keep the skin from this point because it has an indentation here for this handle. So I have to work that into this skin over here. I have to work a place to set the door handle. I've kept the upper part of the skin on the other side that has the indentation for the side view mirrors, and so I'll work the skin around that. Save me a little bit of time, a little bit of work, but yeah, so that's what that is. So I've started to make a pattern for the door skin. I took a piece of 021 scrap that's real flexible and light and easy to work with, and I'll trace out the edges of my door on either end to the flanges to get the exact size of the door skin, so that I can overlay it on the pieces that I have rolled that are the 045, and that way I can trim off the excess and it'll be a little lighter to work with, and I won't have to try and manhandle that big piece. I'll pretty much have it ready to go by just using this pattern, hopefully. So now it's time to try and trim this up and get it to look right. Well, here's a happy accident. Since the door is a little bit longer, probably about almost 2.5, 3 inches longer. When you rotate it and open it, there was a real danger that it was going to hit the inner structure right in here, and it's about a 1/2 inch away from that inner structure, so I don't have to do any modifications or cut any holes in there to clearance for where the door would want to hinge into the side of that reinforcement piece. So I'm pretty happy with that. Like I said, it's a happy accident. I just rotated it now for the first time with that flange on there, and it's going to work. So happy day. So now that I've got the edges trimmed, I'm marking off the body line, and I'm going to fold that and see how that all looks. I wish the real skin would be this easy to put on, but it's going to have flanges all the way around, so it's going to be a little more tedious than this quick pattern. All right, so that's what the sample looks like, the door skin. So the next phase will be to transfer this pattern to the real piece of sheet metal. Hopefully it'll go as swimmingly as this went. But like I said, it's going to be a whole lot heavier, and it's a whole lot harder to bend and manipulate. So hopefully I'll get lucky, and it'll come out just as nice as this looks with an old piece of scrap. That's it for now.